Thanks God, it's Friday. Today is April 24 na po. Kumusta kayo? And of course, nandito naman po si Nico. Ito po si Nico, nandito sa programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And sabi, as what I said a few seconds ago, thanks God, it's Friday. Friday ngayon. And I hope ang mga kababayan, kaibigan at kapatid ko dito po sa Malaysia, mga Filipinos, I hope they're doing fine. Likewise, ang mga Malaysian friends natin. And of course, mga overseas Filipino workers din po sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo, wishing all of you a happy and safe. Safe Friday po. Kung Friday sa inyo ngayon, or advance Friday greetings sa inyong lahat po. And of course, Friday din po sa Pilipinas, sa mga kaibigan, kapatid at kababayan ko po who are watching itong programa natin na Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat po. Alright, may mga topics tayo to discuss today. And one of the topics that I'm going to discuss is ito po. Sa palagay ninyo po. Sa palagay nyo. Nahuli ba si Saldi nyo o si Saldi ko or hindi? Naaresto ba si Saldi ko o hindi? Nahuli o naaresto? Yun po. I'll be very careful in using the word. Kasi ginamit ang Pangulong Marcos natin, ang mahal na Pangulong Marcos natin noon, sabi niya, nasa kustodiya. Na kustodiya. O nahuli. Pero hindi niya, he did not use the word, he was arrested. Kasi ngayon, ganito ang issue po eh. Ganito ang issue po. So ano ba? Nahuli, tapos nasa kustodiya na siya ng mga Czech Republic authorities, or na-aresto siya and nasa kustodiya siya, or he is free as a bird. He is free as a bird. Sa palagay natin, sa palagay ninyo po, ano talaga ang katotohanan? Ano talaga ang totoo? Ng mga balita. According to former spokesperson ng Malacanang during the time of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, si Atty. Harry Roque, sabi niya po, siya mismo tumawag sa Czech authorities, sa Prague Police, sa 2 detention centers po, and confirm sa kanya po that there is no such thing as detained or under the custody. Ito si ang pangalan na Sadiko, no? Samantala hot and very hot issue dito po o dyan po sa Pilipinas tungkol sa announcement made by Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos or BBM last week po na nahuli na daw kay sabi natin Sadiko dyan po sa Czech Republic, sa Czech Republic po. And dahil dyan ang announcement ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, daw sumagot din po ang DILG Secretary natin, si John Vic Remulla, ang Philippine National Police Chief, at saka iba-iba pang some other government officials po, reacting and supporting the statement of BBM. On the contrary, ang party list or ang colleague ni former lawmaker, si Congressman Sadiko is now a fugitive hiding, si Representative of Congressman Alfredo Garbin, sabi na po, based on his information that he received from close family members of Sadiko po, that the Sadiko is fine and everything is normal. Fine and everything is normal. Does it mean na ano ba ito? Wala nangyari? O kung mayroon mang nangyari, then that was just a small matter, but he's back to normal life. Free as a bird. Kagaya din sabi ni Harry Roque, he is free as a bird. Si spokesperson naman sa Malacanang, ngayon po, si Yusek Claire Castro was saying na she still or Malacanang still stand to the announcement of BBM sa boss na po that si Saldico was nahuli po and under the custody of the Czech Republic po. But wala pang ebidensya, wala tayong news. But according to DOJ Vida, no? Nasa press ngayon po, he already announced, made it official po, that si Saldico, mag-ingat lang daw tayo po in using the word. Because doon po sa prank, they don't use arrest, no? They don't use arrest po. He was caught, or maybe he was temporarily held up, no? But not arrest. Not arrest. Pwede naman nahuli, but not arrest. Hindi daw pwede yun. Because arrest is a legal term. A legal term po, no? Now, I was looking, nag-google din ako po, what is the difference between huli and naaresto and nahuli? Okay, when we say naaresto po, ibig sabihin po, naaresto, it was done by, in terms of legal aspect, in terms of legal aspect, when you use the word naaresto, ibig sabihin po, the arrest was carried out by an authority, such as the police, NBI ba or may authority. And that is why you say arrested. Arrested by the police. Now, pag sabi natin nahuli, pwede din sabihin natin na hindi kailangan authority na huli sa kanya. Dahil po, pwede naman tayo magsabi na nahuli siya nagsinungaling. Diba? Nahuli siya nagsinungaling. In other words, ako, if I tell you, nahuli kitang nagsinungaling, not necessarily I am a authority, a police authority ba, or civilian authority po, no? So, yun po ang diferensya. Kaya nga, mag-ingat. But the bottom line there po, si Saldico is as free as a bird. Nobody can say. No? Ang DOJ natin po is not confirming na detain po si Saldico sa Czech Republic. And sabi niya po, no? Na he's still gathering some information po. And later on, he will brief ang presidente natin po. No? Okay, let me read you this article po, published dyan po sa ABS-CBN Network News. The Department of Justice or DOA today po, today said former lawmaker Saldico was not technically arrested, but his liberty was restrained in the Czech Republic. So he was not arrested, technically arrested, but ang liberty niya was restrained. For how long? Ang DOJ, si Vida, did not mention. Kung nasaan na siya ngayon po, or restrained kung nasaan lugar, he did not mention. Justice spokesperson Paulo Martinez clarified to reporters that Ko remained within Czech Republic's jurisdiction. He did not directly answer though if Ko had been released or was still being held by authorities. Hindi nila. Si spokesperson na Paulo Martinez po, when confronted by the local media po, he did not also confirm kung nandoon pa ba si Saldico under the custody of the Czech Republic or wala na po. No? For analogy, it's similar to a situation in the airport where the person arrives and immigration denies entry or exclude the person. Technically, not arrested, but there is a deprivation of liberty to a certain degree. Martinez told reporters in a text message. The justice official said that an official law enforcement action took place in Czechia last week. This fact was wholly ascertained and remained undisputed, he said. Latest report we have is that he is still within the jurisdiction of ZEC authorities. Yun po ang latest nila po, no? But I don't know. As of a press time, we don't know if he's still under the custodia ng Czech Republic. In a statement, Palace Press Officer Claire Castro said there was no contradiction between the DOJ's latest pronouncement and President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s announcements last week. Last week, Marcos announced that the CO, a certain figure, a central figure in the multi-billion peso flood control scandal, was detained in Prague after crossing into the Czech Republic without proper documentation and is currently in the custody of Czech authorities. A Philippine delegation composed of DOJ and foreign affairs officials, among others, flew to the Prague on Thursday to explore options to return CO, the timeline for which remained indefinite. We cannot provide a timeline. We cannot say it will depend entirely on what the Czech Republic, how the Czech Republic is willing to accommodate with respect in kanilang batas, Martinez said in an interview. Yun po, yun ang situation po. Sabi nga ni Martinez po, it will be, it's a similar situation wherein isang foreigner pumasok sa isang foreign country sa immigration po, and upon checking, may discrepancy, no? May discrepancy, and could confirm itong discrepancy po, then he will be asked to wait for a while until they finish ang investigation. But it doesn't mean that he was arrested, no? Restrained from, temporary liberty restraint yan po. Now, ganon yun po, no? And kung wala man, or they found out that wala siyang visa, or expired na ang visa niya in coming back, no? Sa country that he arrived, so the first available flight to return back sa country of origin po, ang country concerned will board him po sa plane. The first available flight. I've seen this kind of situation po. No? I've seen this kind of situation happen to a friend of mine. When I was in, even in Brunei, even in Malaysia, upon arrival dito po sa Malaysia po, na mayroon mga checking po sa immigration. Once you get your chopping po sa passport ninyo po, and if they found out that there are some irregularities po, and convinced sila po that that irregularity violates ang immigration laws nila po, so definitely po, no? Definitely, while investigating, verifying, itong tao po temporarily will be asked to wait. Diyan po mismo sa airport. He cannot go out from the airport, no? And upon confirmation po, kung convinced na ang immigration authorities concerned that he or she violated a certain requirements or policy ng bansa nila po, then he will be immediately deported, no? Sa next available flight po. If galing siya sa Pilipinas, the next available plane flight to Pilipinas, he will be boarding. They will ask him to board and return back to the Philippines. Kung galing siya sa sabihin natin na Portugal, then he will be returned back to Portugal po. So yun po, that's what really happened po, no? And we are waiting for any confirmation po. And yun po, ang dami na sa social media talking about this issue dahil po, sabi nila, the one who told the truth was Harry Roque, and those who did out or put out itong fake news po is the government. So I'm just making it very clear para sa mga followers natin po, no? Yun ang issue. Alright? So, this time around, let me share with you po. May video clip tayo dito. May video clip tayo dito po about si Attorney Rowena Guanzon po, no? Attorney Rowena Guanzon, and he's talking about si Romualdez, he's talking about ito Saldico, he's talking about the flood control projects, no? Very hot issue ito po sa Pilipinas. And of course, ako din po, I just want to remind ang mga Filipinos who is watching itong programa natin, I'm just reminding you po, huwag natin kalimutan itong flood control projects po, no? Dahil, grabe, we lost trillions of pesos po dahil ito sa flood control projects, and it is for this reason, ako po and many Filipinos, we want that those involved dito po sa flood control project scandal or scam po, those involved must be put behind bars po. And hanggang ngayon, despite all of the promises made by the government, hanggang ngayon po, ang small fish lang po nasa kulungan. And among them is former Senator Bong Revilla. Anyway, let me share with you po itong video clip ni Attorney Rowena Guanzon po for your information. For your information po. Let's watch and listen to this. Sandali po. Hold on. Ito po.
Remember that Sandro Marcos will not be of age in the next election for president after 2020, in 2020. And therefore, I believe their plan was for Martin Romualdez to run in 2028 and hold the dynasty for Sandro Marcos. That is why BBM and Martin edged out Vice President Sara very early in the game, or within a little more than 1 year after the elections, their unity team was broken. And the focus of Martin Romualdez was in the 2025 elections. That is why the budget under BBM since 2022 to 2025 and 2026 was crucial to this political plan. Makukulong ba si Martin Romualdez? Sinasabi ni Ombudsman Remulla na fa-filean niya ng plunder case si Martin Romualdez at si Chis Escudero. Pero alam niyo naman na marami pang pwedeng mangyari. Pero kung totoo yan, at sa ngayon, ang Martin Romualdez ay walang pahintulot na makalabas ng bansa sa ating gobyerno, mas maniniwala ako na itutuloy ni Ombudsman Remulla ang sinasabi niyang plunder case against Martin Romualdez. And if that happens, walang piyansa. Ibig sabihin, makukulong si Martin Romualdez kagaya ng pagkulong nila sa kay Bong Revilla. Ngayon, titingnan natin, nauna pa nga na ikulong si Bong Revilla na malayo sa sa Forbes. Lahat po ng insertion na punta sa ating Pangulo at Speaker Martin Romualdez. Ako lang at ang aking mga tao, sila Paul Estrada, Mark Tiksay, at ang aking mga security ang nag-deliver papunta sa bahay nila Pangulong Bongbong Marcos at Speaker Martin Romualdez sa North Forbes Park, South Forbes Park, hanggang sa Malacanang. Yung mga deliveries po ay merong record ang aking mga tao. Totoo po yung sinasabi ni Orly Gutesa na nag-deliver siya sa Forbes Park. Totoo din po ang sinasabi ni Orly Gutesa na nag-deliver siya sa Malacanang nung siya ay nasa Senado. Para mapatunayan ang mga litrato na deliveries ay ilalabas ko po together with this video. Ang sinasabi ni Martin, hindi siya ang mastermind. Si BBM ang mastermind. Kasi sinasabi ni Martin na ang budget na yan ay nanggagaling din naman sa opisina ng Presidente. At yan ang tinatawag nilang National Expenditure Program. At pag natapos na dyan sa Kongreso, sabi niya, sa House of Representatives ay umaakyat doon sa Senado at gumagawa sila ng small committee o bicameral conference tungkol sa budget. At kung saan sinabi ni Martin Romualdez, hindi siya umupo doon. Ang umupo lamang doon ay si Chis Escudero bilang Senate President at si Saldi Ko. So, klaro, na malinis pala gumalaw itong si Martin Romualdez. Dahil alam niya na pag may nangyari dito, walang masisisi dahil wala siyang footprints. Hindi mo makikita ang kanyang galawan doon sa small committee at bicameral conference. At by the way, hindi niya minimension ang chair ng Senate Finance Committee na si Grace Poe. Pero minimension niya si Chis Escudero kung saan itong si Ombudsman Remulla ngayon ay siya rin magpa-file ng plunder case laban kay Chis Escudero kasama si Martin Romualdez. At sinasabi ni Martin, bakit ako ang mastermind? Hindi naman ako, hindi naman Congress ang nag-i-implement ng mga flood control projects at substandard projects na yan. Executive naman ang gumagawa niyan. Ang sinasabi dito ni Martin na hindi niya diretsang sinasabi ay si BBM ang mastermind. Pero mga kababayan, huwag nating kalimutan na sa plunder ay mayroong conspiracy. Yung napagkaisahan nila lahat na gawin nito simula pa sa budget dahil walang flood control na ghost projects at substandard projects kung walang simula dyan sa budget na simula pa lang habang ginagawa ang budget ay naisip na nila na kikita sila ng kickback at halos trilyon na flood control projects ang nilagay nila sa budget. At
Alright, yun po. Narinig natin ang statement, opinion, observation ni Atty. Rowena Guanzon po. What do you think? What do you think po? And, okay, let me share you another video clip kay Atty. Rowena Guanzon po regarding itong issue po. Mayroon pa tayo dito. Isa pang video clip. Let's watch and listen to this. Bago we give some comments po, ang personal comments ko po regarding itong issue. Let's watch and listen first another video clip of Atty. Rowena Guanzon.
sabi naman ng iba, kung si BBM ang mastermind, bakit siya ang nagpa-imbestiga? Ito po ang sagot ko. Ang hindi po talaga naisip ni BBM at ni Martin Romualdez na babaha ng ganung klaseng baha ang Pilipinas. They did not anticipate the hand of God. projects. Yung ibang mayor na hindi nila alam ang ginagawa ng kanilang congressman ay hindi lamang sila nagulat, napaiyak pa dyan sa Bulacan. Kaya sinasabi ni Martin, hindi siya ang mastermind. Pero conspiracy ito, Martin eh. The act of one is the act of all. Kaya kung sabihin mo, hindi totoo na ikaw ang mastermind, sabihin mo na sa amin na si BBM talaga ang mastermind para magkaalaman na. Hindi ba? Ngayon, mga kababayan, sabi ni Martin Romualdez, zero flood control daw siya sa kanyang distrito. Kaya wala daw siyang flood control. Huwag nating kalimutan na napaka-powerful ng speaker na kahit saang district siya ay pwedeng kahit saang district na pondo ay pwede niyang maabot. Hindi natin sinasabi kung alin dyan na project na nag-kickback si Martin Romualdez. Sinasabi ni Saldico na nag-deliver siya ng kickback sa bahay ni Martin Romualdez sa Forbes. Yan ang sinabi ni Saldico. At ang simple na explanation dyan ay yung perang yan galing sa mga flood control projects at substandard projects na kickback ay galing sa iba't ibang funds sa ibang distrito na hindi sa distrito ni Martin. Malinis nga naman yung distrito niya. Kung yun lang ang titingnan natin. Pero ang power naman ng speaker ay napakalawak. Ang hindi inaasahan talaga ni Martin na darating ang panahon na masyado ng praning si BBM. Masyado na siyang under siege kagaya ngayon. At ang survey rating niya ay bumulusok na. Hindi niya inaasahan na siya pala ang gagawing sangkalan. Kaya ginamit niya yung word na I will not be the scapegoat. Yan.
Alright, yan po, narinig natin si Atty. Guansum po, ang observation niya, ang opinion niya, ang statements na po tungkol sa issue na ito po, no? Now, okay, for me, I totally believe, this is my own opinion, I totally believe po, no? Kung sakali, ituloy ito si Ombudsman Remulla to file a plunder case against Romualdez and Chis Escudero po, conspiracy policy po, no? Ibig sabihin, madamay talaga ang presidente po. Hindi lang ang presidente, madamay din mga iba-ibang tao po. Diyan sa hierarchy ng ni BBM po. No? Ni BBM. Okay, on the question of, sabi ni Congressman Martin Romualdez that he has nothing to do with the flood control projects because even you go and check sa distrito niya po, sa Leyte, zero daw po ang sabi natin na ghost project, substandard project sa lugar nila. Yes, sa mga Filipinos dito sa Malaysia, and I also agree, personally, this is my personal opinion, I also agree po, no? I don't think so, kung totoo itong allegation na si Romualdez has something to do po with these flood control projects and dyan po sa national budget ng 2023, 24, and 25 yata yun po, ay for me po, kalukuhan na ito po if he himself will put mga ghost project, substandard projects sa distrito niya po. No? No one will do that po. No one will do that po kasi madali lang mahuli. No? But sabi ni Atty. Rowena Guansum po, remember, he is a powerful government official. He is the speaker. Pwede siya maglagay sa mga iba-ibang distrito po sa Pilipinas. Yun po, no? That is the situation po sa ano. So karamihan ng mga Filipinos dito sa Malaysia, no? Based on the messages and calls I've been receiving and ang mga chit-chat namin po, no? For the past how many months already po, they still believe, Filipinos dito sa Malaysia po, especially in Sabah, we still believe that hindi lang si Saldico is the main actor dito po sa flood control projects at saka sa national budget po. There is a big possibility na si attorney o si congressman na Martin Romualdez has something to do, and not only him, imposible naman po kung dalawa lang sila, there must be somebody else above him po, no? Yon ang haka-haka, yon ang ano namin po, that's how we look at it. We might be wrong, we can be correct, we might be wrong, no? Until maglabas na talaga po ang mga ebidensya and proven beyond reasonable doubt po, then that's the time ako po at saka mga Filipinos dito sa Malaysia po will think otherwise. Will think otherwise po, no? At the moment, this is how we feel. Pero feelings namin lang yan po. It doesn't mean na ano na talaga po, na totoo na talaga itong feelings namin, no? Guilty na sila po. No, we are not saying that po. But that's how we look at it. No? That's why we want ang gobyerno natin po, ang si Bongbong Marcos po, will really do the investigation properly. Dahil po, kung ganon lang as what is happening ngayon po, nandoon na ang ICI, nothing happened, walang report hanggang ngayon, no? Nasirado na lang po ang ICI, Blue Ribbon Committee po. I don't know what happened, suspended po. I don't know when will be the next hearing. And itong DOJ, itong ombudsman, totoo ba? They will be filing cases against these people po. And kailan? Kailan po? And it doesn't mean na kung may plunder case na sila po, itong mga parties concerned, it doesn't mean by filing the plunder cases or malversation of funds or whatever, charges sa kanila po, it doesn't mean that they are already guilty. Mayroon pa yung proseso po. Ang korte only can say whether they are guilty or not guilty. Whether they are guilty or not guilty. So yun ang sitwasyon, what is happening sa Pilipinas. And that is the reason why tayo din po, mga Filipino, tayo din mga Filipino po, we are waiting what will be the next updates, developments po, no? So let's see what will happen. So far, wala pa tayong Blue Ribbon Committee, resumption of the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. Sa ICI, wala tayong report lumabas or given to the public. Ano talaga nangyari? And ano pa? Mga updates sa Malacanang po. And I was made to understand na si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. on Monday will be going or will leave for Japan, no? For an official working visit. And he will be there until 29, no? Tapos babalik na siya dito po, no? And what other issues mayroon tayo ngayon? So far, yun lang po. And let's also watch next week. Mayroon ang continuation of the third and final hearing proper of the impeachment of Inday Sara Duterte po. And as what the legal team of Vice President Inday Sara Duterte po, they already confirmed that Inday Sara Duterte will not be attending ang scheduled April 29 hearing, no? Dahil si Inday Sara Duterte, according to the lawyers of Inday Sara Duterte, she believes that this is, or the hearing, ang Kongreso po, ang Justice Committee, is not the proper forum for her to answer itong mga allegation. What she wants is ituloy na po kung mayroon naman sila sufficient in substance, sufficient in form, and sufficiency in grounds sa impeachment case or complaint of Inday Sara Duterte. Why don't they transmit itong issue o mga results nila po sa hearing sa plenaryo, so that the House plenary can now decide and vote whether mayroong probable cause ang impeachment complaint of Inday Sara Duterte, and they will transmit it to the Senate. Once the Senate will receive the transmission, then if they are convinced na mayroon talaga probable cause, then they will open for full impeachment trial kay Inday Sara Duterte po. And it doesn't mean that once na may trial na po, official trial na po, it doesn't mean na impeach na si Inday Sara Duterte. No, it doesn't mean po. Kasi at the end of the day, after hearings po, now the Senate, Justice Senate po, will vote whether to convict or not to convict si Inday Sara Duterte. But as what many believes, and also the camp of Inday Sara Duterte repeatedly say na this impeachment complaint is a demolition job against the Dutertes po. Dahil it boils down to one thing. Dahil of the 2028 presidential election po. So far, if you look at the surveys, political surveys po, so far, ang mabigat na potential candidate, of which si Sara Duterte already openly announced her intention po to be a presidential candidate sa 2028 po, no? Nag-announce na siya po. So far, siya talaga po. If the election will be held tomorrow or today po, I can bet my life that Inday Sara Duterte will come up victorious. So nakita natin po ang that will be if today or tomorrow. But sa 28 pa yan po, May 28, 2028 pa yan po. So sino-sino mga kandidato ngayon po, again, I just want to repeat, although pwede pa yun po mag-change ang decision. Si former Vice President Leni Robredo, who is now the Naga mayor po, repeatedly and just recently said that she has no plan to go for any national post, especially the top post of the country, or to be a candidate, a presidential candidate po. Dahil po, marami pa daw siya po, no? This is her first term as a mayor. She still has a lot of work to be done sa lugar or sa city niya po as the city mayor of Naga. So most likely, we are looking at Bam Aquino, potential candidate in the event. Lumabas din ang pangalan ni Risa Hontiveros and Kiko Pangilinan, no? Raffy Tulfo po. So tingnan natin kung what will happen. But whether we like it or not po, ang election fever, we can really feel as early as now po, especially when earlier, si Inday Sara Duterte, a few months ago, she officially announced her intention to run as a presidential candidate sa 2028. Alright? So, yon ang latest updates. Mayroon tayo dito po sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And, of course, I will continue to monitor ang mga updates dyan po sa Pilipinas. Today, tomorrow, hanggang next week po, and so on. Because ang program natin po is daily. Ang program natin is daily. And of course, this program is dedicated especially sa mga Filipino communities dito po sa Malaysia, particularly those in Sabah. And of course, para sa mga overseas Filipino workers natin sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. And of course, sa mga kaibigan, kapatid at kaibigan natin dyan po sa bayan natin of which we call the Philippines. So, ano pa? Wala na yata, no? So, with this, once again, si Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Enjoy kayo po ang weekend natin, Saturday and Sunday. Kung may mga religious obligations natin po, huwag natin kalimutan bukas at saka sa Sunday po. Enjoy and make sure that you spend your weekend happily, problem-free, and of course, with your family. With your family. Kasi a family that stick together or pray together, stick together po. So, Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all. Ingat tayong lahat. Let's pray for Philippines, peace for Philippines, peace for Malaysia, and peace for the world. Bye! And ingat, Godspeed. I love you all.